What's up, y'all? Game.film here, and I watched 14 movies in March 2023. I've got some clips to show you. Gonna give you a quick review of each film. Let's get right to it. Alright, first up, guys, we got Doom, a 2004 Indian action film right here. This is a pretty fun action comedy. It's a little bit of a mess. Subtle moments of comedy that were well done. There's a lot of dance bits that were all pretty underwhelming choreography-wise. Hit or miss filmmaking and style. I mean, there's too many split screens. There's these speed ups, flash cuts, combined with odd sounds. The plot could have been a little bit more focused. Still give this a recommendation. There's good comedy, action, stunts, and ridiculous characters. It'll keep you entertained in the 2-hour, 10-minute runtime. And this is very short for an Indian action film, usually around 3 hours, but 3.5 stars out of 5. Alright, film number 2, guys. We got Dressed to Kill from 1980, directed by the god Brian De Palma. Love him a ton. This is masterfully shot, guys. There's plenty of cool filmmaking techniques, like got those split diopters or slow motions. The plot had me pretty engaged with the murder mystery. I thought the killer using a straight razor was pretty cool. Dennis Franz, the GOAT, he steals the show in this one. Love watching him act. 4 stars out of 5. Highly recommend. Alright, next up, guys, we got Madari, a 2016 Indian thriller. Now, this movie tries a little too hard. It takes itself a little too seriously, but there's definitely enough here to give a recommendation. Really like the kidnapping plot, trying to figure out Nirma's motive. Played very well by Irfan Khan, rest in peace. Movie is quite dramatic. There's one crying scene that just went on for way too long. It failed to grip me emotionally in that department, and the same with the ending. A couple of times there were tons of edits happening too fast, and it felt a little sloppy, but 3 out of 5. Recommend. Alright, next up, guys, we got Hard Rain from 1998, action heist flick. I can put this on anytime, anywhere, man. It's so entertaining. The cinematography is actually very impressive. Definitely some good looking shots, some good colors, and got Morgan Freeman dual wielding. That is probably the highlight of this one. 4 out of 5 stars. I recommend. Next up, we got a Hong Kong drama romance called Heart into Hearts. I tracked down this Blu-ray. Pretty hard to find, but I'm trying to watch every single Maggie Cheung movie that she released, man. I'm on a mission. I'm going to get them all. Gotta say, man, it had a pretty weak story. Same with the comedy. It was pretty tough to finish. What's with guys looking down the girls' shirts? They use this gag, you know, multiple times. It's so stupid. I gotta say, Maggie Cheung never looked better, man. She's smoking in this one. Definitely, for Maggie Cheung completionists like me, watch it. But definitely not impressed. Cannot give my recommendation. 2 out of 5. Alright, so next up, we've got Chocolate, a 2008 Thai martial arts action. It's a martial arts and stunts extravaganza, man. It's a must-watch for action film lovers. It's well choreographed. That's the movie's best strength right there. If they were a little more fluid, the fight choreography, I would have rated it a little higher. The story is a bit forgettable, but that's fine. You're not here for that. A minor nitpick, I turned the volume down during the action scenes and up during the dialogue scenes. But when the protagonist started screaming, that got pretty annoying. So the sound design's a little off there, but definitely recommend, man. 3.5 out of 5. Next up, we've got John Wick. Had to do a marathon before I watched the 4th one, y'all, and gotta say, I was so impressed. It's hard to believe our first action scene comes 30 minutes in. The opening act flies by and it's very engaging. The sound design is an A. When Wick gets kicked to the face at this beginning scene, I really heard and felt it, man. The bullets impacting bodies sounded really good too. I love most action scenes using a pistol as the go-to weapon. You'd think Wick would go in having like a minigun, 2 assault rifles, grenade launcher, knowing all these guys he'd be up against, but nah, I mean, he's doing crowd control with the pistol. It's so cool. They let him wield an assault rifle and a shotgun later, and a couple grenades, but you know, that's a bonus, but majority is the pistol. I gave the action a B+. Highly recommend the first John Wick. 4 out of 5. Next up, we've got an Indian action thriller called NH10 from 2015. The plot feels a little bit contrived, and the couple, I swear they're boneheads, man. They make some poor decisions in this movie, but I found this Indian thriller pretty entertaining enough to give a recommendation. Really goes out with a bang. If you like Kurt Russell's Breakdown from the late 90s, I believe it was, you totally enjoy this film. I recommend. 3 out of 5. Next up, we've got Black Hole Thin Ice, a 2014 film from China, and kind of like a murder mystery. I love neon lights and lighting, so this movie's totally my jam. Definitely some great colors in this one. The few moments of violence that happens is very well executed and satisfying to watch. The last 30 minutes or so, I felt pretty bogged down with the film, but there's definitely a lot to like here. Great performances across the board too. 3.5 stars out of 5. I recommend. Next up, we've got a 1985 Hong Kong action film called Yes, Madame, starring Michelle Yeoh and Cynthia Rothrock. Man, this is one of the greatest Hong Kong films ever, one of the greatest action films of all time. Corey Nguyen, he's one of the greatest action directors ever as well. I made a TikTok, man, of this baddie trying to use a fake passport with this like bug-eyed white guy's face, right? It doesn't look like him at all. It went viral, man. It was like, it's so hilarious. I saw this at the Draft House with the original print in a sold-out crowd, man. The theater was so electric. They were oohing and aahing at the action scenes and laughing at the comedy in between. Hong Kong comedy is kind of hit or miss for me, but here it does, like, almost always. When the comedy is mixed in during the action scenes too, i.e. like the bit when Choi Hark with the cage versus the villain, it hits so well. The martial arts and stunts are top tier. A must watch if you're looking into Hong Kong cinema. Great introduction if you're new to the Hong Kong genre. 5 out of 5 stars. Masterpiece. Go watch this. Alright, next film we've got John Wick Chapter 2, released in 2017. Now, the camera work and cinematography I think is better than the first film. I love the mirror homage to Enter the Dragon. The final set piece was so beautiful and fantastic, man. There's so many punishing stunts. The cars hitting people in particular, and plenty of punishing melee attacks as well. The silencer shots between Keanu and Common when they're walking, that's an unforgettable scene, man. I was going wild when that happened. The cut wrist scene, Wick walks out to like a fire image behind him. I absolutely love that. This is a must-watch for everyone. Highly recommend. This might be my favorite of the 4 films. 4.5 out of 5. Next up, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, released in 2019. This is closer to a 4. I rated it a 4.5, but I'm rating it higher because of the carnage and action here. There's knife throwing, 2 fatalities by horse, there's shotgun overkills. I mean, Wick shot a guy 6 times, and 3 of them while the baddie was like falling, you know, he was totally dead. There's book violence, there's kills being done on motorcycles, there's a pair of dogs that help kill a dozen or so bad guys. Just inventive action all around. I'm not sure how I feel about Halle Berry, man. I mean, maybe it was her dialogue. Can't say I was impressed with her acting, but we did get a good action scene with her and Wick, so it's not a big deal. The dogs were the star of that part, not Halle Berry, so maybe that says something. The destruction and choreography with the Indonesian brothers fight was pretty fire. I feel the dramatic moments were pretty good. This has to be in the top action film series of all time. I mean, John Wick 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one, which I'm going to talk about. But 3 straight bangers so far. 4.5 out of 5. Recommend. Next up, we got John Wick Chapter 4, released this year, 2023. Now, I did a marathon of the series. I'll admit I was getting burnt out at times watching this one. You know, you see like the double taps to the domes, you fighting guys in the whole armor like in John Wick 3. The dog attacks, which is similar to John Wick 3 again. Keanu's minimal dialogue, like, yeah, like it got old kind of fast, you know, and waiting until a goon like pops around the corner and he grabs the gun and like melees and shoots him. But this it's got Donnie Yen, Scott Adkins, Sawayama, Anderson as the tracker, all fantastic additions to mix things up. So good. The top-down fight sequence towards the end was so unique and ridiculously good. You've got bows and arrows, a gunfight on horseback, more grand set pieces and backdrops, the different colors, and there's definitely some effort put into the lighting, which I liked. The runtime could have been a little shorter. That's okay. I really wanted Scott Adkins to have more martial arts. He's wearing a fat suit. He chews it up. His scene, I just wanted him to throw down much more. But 4 out of 5 stars. John Wick Chapter 4, one of the best action films of the year. Recommend. Alright, the 14th and final film is a Vietnamese action martial arts from 2022 called Furies. The story feels pretty plain, y'all, but I enjoyed watching a gang of girls beat the shit out of scumbags. There's this glow-up montage that reminded me of The Makeover and Clueless. I dug that. Our protagonist getting training wasn't exactly a montage, but I like those bits in movies, you know, watching our hero get training and building herself up. The film is pretty colorful. I'm a sucker for that. I've seen more inventive fights, but all are competently done, and there's a good quality of action. The final fight scene is the best one by far. Furies, 3.5 out of 5. Recommend. Alright, y'all, that about wraps it up, but I gotta show you this side-by-side of John Wick 2 and Resident Evil Vendetta. I love doing these side-by-side comparisons. Now, their movements aren't 100% similar. There's just two finishers that are similar, but crowd control with the pistol, man, I think they look pretty cool. I post a lot of my side-by-side comparisons to YouTube Shorts. You can find a ton more on my Twitter account and TikTok. I want to shout out Pinland Empire. He is the GOAT of the side-by-side. Look in his Twitter bio, side-by-side GOAT. He really put me on these side-by-side comparisons, man. He started it, and I mean, this is one of his best ones, man. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air compared with Mulholland Drive. Epic, man. Alright, y'all. Thank you for watching this video. I wanted to mention the instrumentals you hear are also by Pinland Empire himself. He's a great beat maker. He's a great DJ. He's a great scratcher. I'll leave a link in the description where you can purchase those instrumentals. Don't forget to hit that sub button, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment. If you do that, it really helps that algorithm, man. The YouTube algorithm sucks, and I could use y'all's help. Until the next time, y'all. Peace.